All right, here we go. We got our Umbra Operative ARC Trooper VGM58. Fun stuff. I do have a trooper from Battlefront, previously released like years and years ago. We'll check that out a little later. But this right here is an awesome and divisive, and people like to complain about it, release. I think it's pretty freaking cool. But you know, I like clones. So this is a Hot Toys exclusive, which means, if you don't know, maybe you're new to this, that means they limited it in the States to Sideshow Collectibles. If you're getting in the States, if you got it overseas, it's got a little sticker like this. The Sideshow one might look a little different. They made 1,500 pieces, and people tried like their best to try to get one of these, and it proved to be a little difficult. I got mine from Pop Collectibles. That's where I get all my stuff. So, check them out if you want to. VGM58 Umbra Operative ARC Trooper. Pretty cool. Typical trooper box right here. Look at that. If only they were... I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If this was not limited, I would have 3. I would have 3 of them, so I could display all the helmets. I just would. I don't know. I just think that's really, really cool. But they were limited, and I don't have 3. I have 1. So there's that. Oh, by the way, you have to take the entire clamshell out. I messed around with this a little earlier, just as, it's a clone. I got excited about it, right? And I was like, where the hell are the other helmets? The other helmets, spoiler, I'm going to turn this thing upside down, are on the underneath of this. So don't miss it. If you get this, that's where they are. Hot Toys has been stowing stuff under the clamshells lately. I guess to save in packaging, save in shipping, and that's cool. But that's where that's at. So I kind of do need to deal with that. So let's get that tape off of there. And then there's another little flap on this side. Get you off of there. And then there's one on the other side. So we'll okay. All right, hold on. We got the accessory tray hands and the ammo pouch here. Get you out of here. And I wanted to see what the coloration was, but so they have these 2 flaps here, I guess, so you won't forget that they're down there. I don't know, but they are there. And how difficult are they going to be to get out of the bottom? I don't know. Is it? Oh, more tape. Okay, there we go. So there's our Jesse style helmet, and then our Vaughn style helmet. Sorry, Vaughn style helmet and a Phase 1 helmet. We'll get to that in just a little bit. That's where they're at. This thing is gorgeous. Get this plastic out of here. Oh boy. Now, people are gonna say, well, it's just the same mold as ARC Trooper Jesse. Well, yeah, it probably is, and we'll find out for sure. I don't give a damn. It's a freaking clone. It's gonna look amazing on the shelf. It's from a video game that I like to play back in the day, and it's just good looking. Like, I don't even care. I got static going on. Whew, man, will you look at that thing. Holy cow. That is gorgeous. Now, yes, I know it's a repaint. I get it. Again, don't care. This thing is awesome. I will see how much of a repaint it actually is from Jesse. And I guess one of the things we kind of want to know from this is our second ARC Trooper. When are we going to get Echo and Fives? Like, that's what everybody wants to know, including myself. That guy looks pretty cool. We'll put him there for just a second. Let's see what accessories got. We got our macro binoculars in here. We got our backpack, which is magnetized. That's nice. We got a pair of DC-17 blaster pistols, DC-15s, rifle, and this tool is to add on the macro binoculars. It's not for posable eyes, because obviously he doesn't have any. And there's that. And then what kind of base have we got? Normal crotch grabber and normal Death Star style base. Okay. All right. Let me get all this cleaned up. All right. So we've got a lot of accessories here. Let's take a look at them. Some of these, actually a lot of these we've already seen like 50 times before. So there's that. Here's the display base. Looking pretty good. Nice dry brushing on the edges. Sometimes they do that. Sometimes they don't. They did spell it out, Umbra Operative ARC Trooper, and they spelled it correctly this time, so that's nice. No Battle-aliens to deal with right there, so kind of dig that. And then, obviously, as I just threw that, it's got a crotch grabber. I just threw it on the floor. Here's his backpack, which is magnetic. It does have this, like, maroonish shading in these sections, which I think is a little different. It appears to be the exact same backpack as Jesse. It's just painted a little differently, which it's a clone, not much of a shocker for that. And it's an ARC Trooper, so they kind of should be the same. Ammo pouch, they'll be magnetized to the chest if you would like to use it or not. That's up to you. There's a little magnet. You can kind of see the intention of it right there. These are cool. Kind of dig it. That works. Hands-wise, we get 5 hands that come in the package, 2 on the figure, 2 relaxed hands on the figure, plus these 5. You got a couple options here. You got these beautifully painted, like, they're just awesome, right? They're all the same hands we've seen before. There's nothing new as far as molds go in this figure, but maybe that's actually, yeah, it's all been reused. It's just repaints. But here we go. We got the nice yellow-orange color with some battle damage stuff going on in the yellow section. Black gloves, right and left blaster hands. We get that. We get a right and left gesturing hand. So you get those. We've seen these before. It's pretty cool. And then you get this a gesturing hand or a support hand. Typically used this for support for the rifles, and it just works. So you get those. So that's plenty of hands going on there. A couple of ARC Trooper specialities. This DC. I'm just throwing all kinds of stuff today. I'm a professional. DC-17 pistol blasters. Nothing new here. All the weapons are the ones we've seen before. Absolutely nothing new to go with that. And then we've got our DC-15s. And obviously the long version. So if you don't know already, well, maybe, I don't know how you would know. I am actually 3D printed, I've already done it, a 1-to-1 scale version of this rifle. Super excited to get it ready to go. And I've got it glued up. Now I've just got to take the time to sand it, paint it, all that kind of fun stuff. Should be a nice little addition. I plan on making several of these for a nice little display in my collection room. But there's that. Now, no doubt, again, these are going to be just like every other clone. We're going to have to heat these up to make them more pliable to handle the weapons. I have no doubt that's going to be a thing because I have a lot of these. There's that. So, all that to the side. We've got 3 helmets, which is why we needed this to not be a limited edition. I'm okay with limited edition pieces, just not ones I want to army build. I think that's kind of a bummer. But we do have the Phase 2 ARC Trooper helmet, looking all kinds of badassery. I mean, you see the gloss coming up from the visor. If you rotate to the back, you got a nice little pop of red back here. Dig that. Although I'll never see it because you never see the back, right? But there is some subtle weathering on the black sections here, in addition to the yellow, which is the yellow part's obvious. But there is some subtle weathering there. I don't know if that's going to come across on camera. It may or may not, but it is there. There's that. So there's the Phase 2 ARC. Then we've got the Phase 1 ARC, and it looks amazing. And, I have 3D printed a life-size version of this one for the collection, and it will be painted like this. In addition to that, I'm 3D printing a life-size version of this one. So we'll have a lot of these going on. But this is Phase 1. I believe when the posing section gets down on this video, this is going to end up being my favorite. It's just, the Phase 1 is just, it's just badass, right? It just screams like, I'm going to win this battle. I'm going to take out the Separatists. It's going to be a thing. And pretty excited about this. It does have a movable rangefinder here. Doubt I'll ever mess with that. I end up breaking them, and that's the thing. This thing right here looks amazing. Pop of red back there on the back as well. Dig that. And then we have, I'm going to call it the Captain Vaughn style helmet. Now, in the packaging with the 2 helmets, this one and the Phase 1, you will find an additional tiny little guy right here. This tiny little antenna. I know it's going to break. I just know it. Because my trooper's going to fall over while I'm posing it. And I know it's going to be a thing. But it comes packaged separately. And it just pegs in right there. It's just friction fit. And so there's our Captain Vaughn style ARC Trooper helmet. And this is pretty badass too. I like it. It just doesn't win for me out on versus the Phase 1. All right. So here they are. We've seen them multiple times. I'm going to try to get this other one without dropping one. The Phase 2 there. The Phase 1 right here. Which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comment section down below. Honestly, for me, probably going to be this guy. You do get a tool right here for popping out the earpieces for the macro binoculars. If you want to do that, here are the macro binoculars. I probably won't be using these. I'm not a big fan of them, honestly, for collection-wise and display-wise. But if you want, you can do this. You take this little tool, you pop out these little earpieces right here on either side, pop in the this guy, and then you put those pieces back. It just friction fits on there. Pretty easy to do. If you want to use it, probably won't. And here we go. We've got our Umbra Operative ARC Trooper, looking all kinds of badass right here. It's beautiful. The paint application is great. They're clean, nice, crisp lines where they should be crisp. Nice weathered lines where they should be weathered. I mean, the comma back here with the pops of the yellow-orange right here. This is a vinylish, pleathery material here. I'm not a big fan of that, but I understand why it's there. It's almost like a vinyl overlay on top of this suede-like, I say suede-like, nylon-like material. It's nice. If you remember the older Sideshow ones, you remember these things were like really thick and just kind of a pain in the ass to deal with. This one's not like that. Now, I am seeing this. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. So the comma here is like pre-wrinkled. Like that's a thing, right? It's like it's like pre-wrinkled. So I don't know how that's gonna play long-term. My climate here and where I keep my collection, I don't think I'm gonna have too much issue with that, but if you're in a humid climate or not so nice climate, it might be a thing. But I just noticed that's like pre-wrinkled, right? And the ammo pouch or the extra pouch right here are pre-attached to the comma, so we don't have to worry about that. Which is you got the belt that goes here, and then that's pre-attached. And then you've got, I really don't like this. I don't know why they do this. The holsters for the blaster pistols, they're free-flowing. I wish they were magnetized or something, because when you get into crazy poses and you got your blaster, it just looks weird. So I might have to do something with that. But outside of that, everything else looks fantastic. We've got, obviously, Phase 2 helmet on there. The pauldron is connected to the chest armor, so there's no removing the pauldron. It's all one piece. So there's that. Black back here, it's black, but there is some wash in here, like weathering on here, just like there's on the helmet, although it may not come across on camera. It might not. So, well, it's there. You got this paint application, yellow stripes going down the side, nice silver gunmetalish paint going on right here, and then you got some buttons, which are just black, and then on this side as well. It looks great. I mean, yeah, I know people are gonna be like, it's just another clone, but to me, it's not. It's awesome. Super happy to have it, and just happy to add it to the collection. So going down, ARC Trooper style shin guards with the foam still in it, because professional YouTuber, and then you got the ARC Trooper style deal. It looks great. It looks great. It looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, I like everything about this. Everything. Love it. No ratchets on the shoulders. We're going to have double bend on the elbows, although that armor's going to get in the way. We'll deal with that in the posing section. Typical range of motion. If you've got a trooper, not going to be anything crazy. Ab crunch, not really going to be there. Double bend on the knee. Got plenty of range of motion there. This thing, yeah, pretty excited about it. I guess now we should, pose it. All right, so let's have some fun with this first pose. And the question is going to be, can you put a clone head on this body? And of course you can. And so I broke out a Commander Cody head to put on here. I guess you could put a Jesse or a Rex, or you can put whatever you want on there. Hopefully future, like a generic clone head might be kind of cool. I don't know. We'll see. But you can absolutely do that. Obviously, I've got him here with the Phase 2 helmet. And he looks pretty stinking good. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in here. You guys can get a look. And you can determine if you like the look or don't like the look. With the pauldron on there, the neck looks a little short. No, it's not fantastic. The pauldron definitely, maybe it's just an optical. And it doesn't help that the camera is actually below the head sculpt. So, it's not as bad in person. It's just maybe a camera angle on this one. But regardless, looks pretty good. I kind of dig it. I think I threw a photo up on Instagram maybe a couple days ago or whatever, but there's that. And I just lost one of my side lights. That's awesome. But here's a quick little spin for you for those who might be interested in such a thing. I'm super happy to have this. Got the magnetic backpack on there. We got the DC-17 blasters and the holsters over there. There's really nothing to not like about this. If you like clones, it's good looking, right? It really is. I mean, this is a generic, simple pose. Nothing crazy going on here. We'll have some more fun ones here in just a second. But I figured somebody might be interested to see, can you put a head sculpt on there? And the answer is Yes. Now you might be saying, why on earth did you even attempt this pose? Well, I don't know. I can't tell you. Anyways, I want to have some fun with it. I normally, we'll talk about this pose for just 2 seconds. Normally, I will alternate which arm and leg are forward. Like I'll have right arm forward, left leg forward, whatever. Here I broke that rule. And I think it actually kind of works. I don't do it often, but I think it kind of works here, and I mess around with it. And I tried to get the bend in the left elbow as much as I could without really having to remove that elbow pad. I could. I would be cheating. And then I really cranked the wrist peg. So you can see the wrist peg, which normally I try to hide. But, I try to do something different. So we've got the long rifle, we got the short rifle, and then we've got the pistol blasters in the actual holsters, and they're doing their thing. And a leg up on the display base because, why not? So let's I'll spin this guy around. You can kind of see kind of what's going on. I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. I would have liked to have the left elbow more in front of the body, but with the wrist peg, the hand kept coming off, and so it's one of those things. So, tweak this, make it your own, have some fun with it, and maybe you can do a better job. And if you do, tag me on Instagram or send me a photo or whatever if you do a better job of this. Regardless, I'm happy with the figure. You guys knew that before the figure even showed up in the studio. Honestly, you knew that. So there was no question whether or not I was going to like it. The question is, what kind of display options can I give you guys? It might help you out whether you have this particular clone or maybe you've got a different clone, or maybe just a figure that carries a lot of weapons, whatever that is. Let me zoom down a little bit. So I'm pretty happy with this. No doubt about it. I think the pose is fine. It's probably not the one I'm going to land on. And we need to bring some other clones out here and see what they look like. And then maybe you guys would be interested in seeing like a clone lineup with maybe like all the different variations of clones that I currently have in the collection. There's quite a few. You might want to see that. I might be asking for trouble in that video. But anyways, if you are, let me know in the comment section. And let me know about this pose. What do you think? I think it's okay. So you might be asking yourself, what does he look like with the Phase 1 helmet? And he looks like this with some other Phase 1 clones. We got the pilot, and we got the Phase 1 regular trooper, I guess, if you will. They look great together. The colors on the pilot are ever so slightly more pale than the color on the Umbra trooper. Like you can see it there, but it's not as saturated. I put it, it's very similar. With a little bit more orange on the Umbra. This thing looks... Yeah. Now, I did like this pose that they had in the promo photos. I did like this. It was not the easiest pose to pull off. It's a little awkward in person, but I thought on the photos it looked pretty good. So I was pretty happy with that. I think it's a decent pose. I think we can do better. But overall, he's going to look really good on the display shelf with your own Phase 1 clones, assuming you have some, because... you're watching this video. You collect clones, right? Now, I know none of you actually came to see the unboxing part. You wanted to see some poses, so here we go. I left the Phase 1 helmet on. We'll change up the helmets in a little bit. Phase 1 helmet, we got a dynamic pose for this one. And because we got a little bit of a ratcheted hip, you can actually get some pretty good stability out of it. And you might want to do something crazy like this. Now, it doesn't look great from every angle. So be mindful of that. But on some angles, it looks pretty damn good. I must be honest with you guys. Getting the balance, getting the feet. I mean, look at the rotation of this freaking foot. I mean, that's pretty good. And then we got the other one for balance. I mean, it's a dynamic pose, and I kind of dig it. Now you do have limited range of motion due to the pauldron, the helmet hitting the pauldron, but that's the price to pay for something badass. And on a level of badassery, this is about a freaking 9 out of 10. Maybe a 10 out of 10. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let's do another pose. All right, let's get on to another pose. This time we've got I'm going to call it the Captain Vaughn helmet, the Cody helmet. That thing. The one with the little small part that's going to break as soon as he falls over off a crazy pose that I put him in. That's this one. Looks pretty good. I think this is a pretty good pose. Broke out the long rifle. We've got the blaster pistols back in the holster. And you know what? I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to pause this guy right here for a second. We've got some fun stuff going on here. So we've got a elongated right leg here. Pretty good balance on that one. We got a bent left leg. We got a pretty good amount of torso twist. And what do you guys think about this freaking Vaughn helmet? What do you guys think about this helmet? I don't know. I'm on the fence with it. I mean, I like it, but not like the Phase 1, right? It's just not as badass in my opinion. But it's a pretty good pose, you know, I think. Balance as well. I'm really not too concerned about it falling over. Unfortunately, these clone rifles are so flippin' large that sometimes on the display, if you've got them posed up like this, like you can't, if you want to fit a few figures together, you got to get kind of creative. And that's just something you got to work on. But I think this works. You guys can let me know in the comment section if you have a favorite pose. If you're going to steal a pose, maybe you got a better pose. I don't know. So you're thinking to yourself, how do you make this figure more badass? Well, you take the head from C-3PO, which are the Attack of the Clones version. You take the extra droid head off of there, and you put it in the hand of an Umbra Operative ARC Trooper. And then you got the long rifle. It's tall. It's way the hell up there. You know it's there. And you put it on there. And now you could use any helmet. Phase 2, that's the one I got here. Phase 1, whichever one you want. And just do this. So now I've done a video on clone posing. I'll put a link in the description for those who might be interested in checking that out. There's our Battle Droid head. And you can go check it out. So this is a pretty straightforward pose. This is very easy. Anybody can do this. You got to maneuver the elbow pad over around just a little bit to, get it to, bend as far as, I guess I can get the angle right. Get it to go as far as you want it to go. But it looked pretty good, honestly. So I'm pretty happy with this guy. I don't know what pose I'm going to end up with. Maybe the one, I don't know which one I put in what order or what. I have no idea. But I'm pretty stoked for all of these things. The accessories that come with it. I won't mess with the macro binoculars. I'm not going to mess with those. I don't care too much about that. I might put a clone head on it. That's what we saw earlier with the Cody head. I mean, you can do all kinds of different things. It's pretty cool. Mine's probably going to be posed up with the veteran, just the regular white troopers. The clone troopers probably going to be that. Maybe the pilots. I'm undetermined. But however he's posed up, it's going to look badass. And this right here looks badass. So he might just stay like this for just a minute, and I'll probably switch it out to the Phase 1 helmet because that is my favorite so far. So if you missed out on this one in the States, Pop Collectibles has a couple left, maybe. Not many. It's a pricey figure, unfortunately, with limited edition releases. That's just how it goes sometimes. But here's to Hot Toys making more clones. Which clones should they make next? And no, you can't see ARC Trooper, Echo, and Fives. Like, they're off the table. You got to be a little bit more creative than that. Let me know. Comment section down below. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. If you want to check us out on Patreon, get access to behind-the-scenes stuff, specific Discord, Facebook groups, all that kind of stuff, let me know. Link in the description below. As always, collect what you like. See you next time.